Useless. What? Donald J. Trump blasts Gambia president Adama Barrow. He said Adama Barrow is so.
When Donald Trump allegedly described the Gambia's President Adama Barrow as the most useless president in Africa, it sparked controversy and debate. While the statement is certainly provocative, it resonates with the frustrations many Gambians have expressed over Barrow's leadership since he assumed office in 2017. The question remains, is this harsh assessment justified? Adama Barrow came to power as a symbol of hope, ending Yahya Jammeh's 22-year autocratic rule. His victory was hailed as a triumph for democracy and a fresh start for the Gambia. Yet nearly a decade into his presidency, Barrow's leadership has left many disillusioned. Critics point to unfulfilled promises, weak governance, and an apparent lack of urgency in addressing the nation's pressing challenges. These shortcomings have left Gambians wondering if Barrow truly understands the weight of his responsibilities. During his campaign, Barrow vowed to be a transitional leader who would guide the Gambia toward a brighter future. Among his promises were constitutional reforms, better infrastructure, and a fight against corruption. However, progress in these areas has been slow or non-existent. Key constitutional changes, such as limiting presidential terms, remain unimplemented, raising concerns about Barrow's commitment to democratic principles. Moreover, unemployment and poverty rates continue to climb, leaving many Gambians feeling abandoned. The lack of significant infrastructure improvements further highlights the gap between Barrow's promises and his performance. One of the most glaring criticisms of Adama Barrow is his perceived detachment from the plight of ordinary Gambians. Reports and viral clips of Barrow allegedly sleeping during important forums have fueled the narrative that he lacks the focus and energy to lead effectively.
Mbala madende Muhammad be arjanna bari President Barrow Sallumba fanang abisino labang fola bala to finkon la Gambia because I'm confused. Kata ku jiran ba kila ko yamate imam ratib la kutubo moy. Awwa, no wonder wala na state house duta kuno.
While it's essential to be cautious with such claims, the optics of a disengaged leader are damaging, especially in a country where citizens expect visible commitment to addressing their struggles. This behavior feeds into the broader perception of Barrow as a passive leader, incapable of tackling the urgent issues facing the Gambia. Critics argue that his administration's lack of proactive governance and transparency has allowed inefficiency and corruption to fester. Everyday Gambians have grown increasingly vocal about their dissatisfaction with Barrow's leadership. Protests and public outcries over issues such as economic stagnation, poor healthcare, and insufficient education funding are a testament to the growing frustration. Many feel that Barrow has squandered the goodwill he initially enjoyed and that his government has failed to deliver on even the most basic expectations. The frustration is further compounded by allegations of nepotism and favoritism within Barrow's administration. For a leader who campaigned on change and reform, these actions signal a troubling departure from his promises. Donald Trump is known for his blunt, often controversial remarks. While his statement calling Barrow the most useless president in Africa is harsh, it reflects a sentiment shared by some Gambians. Whether Trump's observation was based on deep analysis or simply offhanded rhetoric, it underscores the widespread perception of Barrow as a leader who has failed to rise to the occasion. It's essential to acknowledge that Trump's views are not a definitive measure of a leader's effectiveness. However, when similar criticisms are echoed by citizens and political analysts, they warrant serious reflection. The Gambia's challenges demand a leader who is not only present, but proactive, decisive, and deeply committed to the welfare of the people. Ultimately, the focus should not be on Trump's words, but on the realities facing the Gambia under Barrow's leadership. The Gambian people deserve accountability, progress, and a leader who prioritizes their needs. Barrow still has an opportunity to turn things around by addressing systemic issues, fostering transparency, and demonstrating genuine commitment to his nation's development. If Barrow fails to heed these calls for change, history may remember him not as the leader who liberated the Gambia from dictatorship, but as a missed opportunity for true transformation. When former U.S. President Donald Trump allegedly called Adama Barrow the most useless president in Africa, it may have seemed like another one of Trump's controversial statements. However, for many Gambians, this remark strikes a chord, reflecting their frustrations with a leader who has consistently fallen short of expectations. One recent example that has fueled public criticism is President Barrow's inability to pronounce figures correctly during a national address, a moment that many Gambians see as a glaring embarrassment for their nation.
The tourist season in the country is booming again, and by end December 2024, 411 tourist arrivals have been expected. It is projected that 764 tourists will visit the country during the 2024-2025 tourist season.
Adama Barrow came to power as a beacon of hope, promising change and progress after decades of authoritarian rule under Yahya Jammeh. Yet, his tenure has been riddled with unfulfilled promises, weak leadership, and a lack of charisma that many believe is necessary to inspire confidence. The recent incident on national television, where he struggled to articulate basic figures, has amplified questions about his competence. For a president representing a nation on the global stage, such mistakes are seen as not just personal failures, but a reflection of the leadership crisis plaguing the Gambia. In an era where leaders are expected to project strength and eloquence, Barrow's public missteps have become symbolic of a deeper issue. Critics argue that this isn't an isolated incident, but part of a broader pattern of disengagement and lack of preparedness. Whether it's failing to implement critical reforms, address poverty, or create jobs, Barrow's administration has left many Gambians feeling abandoned. The video of his struggle with figures has become a rallying point for these frustrations, with many citizens sharing it as evidence of his inability to lead effectively. The bigger question is what this moment means for the Gambia's reputation. In a region where nations are striving to assert their sovereignty and build global partnerships, having a leader who appears unprepared or uninformed undermines those efforts. It's not just about a single gaffe on television. It's about the perception of the Gambia as a serious and capable nation under his leadership. For Gambians, this perception is deeply personal, as they bear the brunt of the economic challenges and political stagnation that stem from poor governance. To be fair, every leader makes mistakes, and a single televised blunder does not define an entire presidency. However, for Barrow, this incident adds to an already long list of grievances. Whether it's his perceived detachment from the struggles of ordinary Gambians, allegations of nepotism and favoritism, or the failure to follow through on key promises, the evidence is piling up for those who believe Trump's harsh critique is justified. As you watch the video of President Barrow struggling with figures, consider what this means for the future of leadership in the Gambia. Is this the level of representation Gambians deserve on national and international platforms? For a country that fought so hard to transition to democracy, it's crucial to demand more from those in power. Leadership isn't just about occupying a position, it's about embodying competence, vision, and accountability. Gambians are rightfully frustrated and disheartened. A leader's inability to articulate key information on national television isn't just a personal failure. It's a national disgrace that echoes the larger failures of his administration. The time has come for serious reflection on whether Adama Barrow can rise to the occasion or if the Gambia needs to look elsewhere for the leadership it so desperately needs. If you found this discussion insightful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Share your thoughts below. Is this moment a sign of a larger issue, or are Gambians being too critical of their president?